I wanted to address the build-out issue. The notion that bringing these broadband services to your home. Because one of the biggest arguments that the telecom industry is making about network neutrality is saying if you put those regulations on us, it's going to severely hamper our ability to build out this infrastructure.
Would you explain that to them, what build-out means?
Build-out means bringing you faster connections to homes, to laying the infrastructure. And it can be, in these days, it would be fiber optic infrastructure. Instead of, if you have DSL, it's mostly coming over the same old copper wires that your telephone came over. If it's copper wire for most cable, although it's changing over to fiber. It is laying new cable, it's laying on infrastructure. And in prima facie, it sounds like a pretty good argument. Wow, okay, so if we can't get more rents, get more money from these other sectors of the industry, we won't be able to pay for this. Except if we turn back the clock 10 years ago, into the 1990s, the telecom industry spent a lot of time lobbying Congress for the Telecom Act of 1996 and lobbying local state regulatory bodies saying, we need regulatory relief so we can roll out broadband, so we can roll out broadband internet. And what they were promising, say in the state of Illinois, was 45 megabits of connectivity to the home. Does anyone here know about what you get if you have DSL or cable?
4 on a good day.
4 megabits on a good day.
On a good day. Most of the time it really isn't working that quickly.
And so what do these numbers mean, right? It means how much, at peak, how much data can flow into and out of your home. And so if you get web pages, that's a little bit of data. If you get audio, you get radio over the internet, that's a little bit more data, maybe 128 kilobits, a quarter of a megabit. You get video, that's right, it's an eighth of a megabit. You get up to a quarter megabit, half of a megabit. But that's the grainy YouTube video. If you want high definition video, you're starting to talk up at the upper limit. 4 megabits, and that would soak up everything. Imagine what you would get if you had 45 megabits, 10 times that. And we don't have to imagine. We have to ask people who live in Seoul, South Korea, who live in some parts of Canada, Finland, because they have that sort of connectivity to their homes. They don't have to worry about net neutrality going away, and they haven't had to worry about regulatory relief either.
And they pay a lot less for it.
And they pay a lot.
And they pay a lot less for it.
And you've, I assume, to ask them, what do they use their 45 megabits for?
Well, in South Korea, for example, there was YouTube before we had YouTube. Creating your own videos and creating your own audio there, and average people and sharing it, has been part of the cultural internet lexicon for several more years than it was here in the United States.
And you think that's limited by the speed of their internet connection?
Oh, absolutely.
Right. I don't know of anybody who's tried to do that and complained that they couldn't do it because their internet connection was...
Oh, I'll complain. I will, because I do produce video and I do produce audio. And on my DSL connection, I have about, at best, it's pretty good because I live pretty close to the central office, is 400 kilobits a second. So if I want to upload something, a few minutes of video, I wait 15, 20, 30 minutes. I wait most of the time for a longer period of time than it takes for that video to be watched. And if I want to if I want to upload more than one video, it's a lot more time. And that's just simply uploading it to some server. There's no way I could serve it out of my house at that sort of rate. Yeah, I think it's an actual real barrier if you have to spend all this time and monopolize essentially your line on your house if you want to share a video, even a short one. Then that is certainly a barrier to producing more things and not simply being a consumer, but being a producer and making the most of what the internet has to offer.
How long does it take you to produce, for example, a 15-minute video?
Depends on how much time I want to spend on it.
Well, let's imagine a best case scenario.
Best case scenario, 15 minutes.
I don't know, but you have to then at least watch it again and to make sure it doesn't contain any...
But being careful then.
I can in any case, another deviation into the technical realm. So, if net neutrality is in place, the company that you said it's DSL?
Yeah.
So AT&T would not be allowed to prioritize down your upload in order to allow your other use of the internet to be unfettered. Whereas they see a lot of consumers trying to do that, then in order to provide a better customer experience, they will do things like that to make it so you can both upload and watch it.
Well, I mean,
And that's existing.
no, because my
technology.
argument isn't that
Smart
network
TV.
neutrality affects it directly. My argument is that the telecom industry is telling everyone that network neutrality stands in the way of them offering better services to me, that they want to build out, and that they made the same argument 10 years ago and got the regulatory relief and didn't build out a damn thing, not even remotely close to the 45 megabits they promised when they got that relief from the Utility Commission at the state of Illinois, and from the state of Illinois legislature, and from the federal government in the Telecom Act of 1996.
I'm not disputing the build-out issues. I think they're terrible, and we need real laws about that that are actually enforced. What I am disputing is your contention that it doesn't inhibit their ability to offer you better services. The reason they don't offer those services now is that very few people try and create video.
Is that true? I mean, YouTube is exploding. I mean, I realize that not all of that is
The vast
user
majority
created
of
video.
the YouTube is download. The vast majority of the YouTube bandwidth is download. That's
But
the
there's
beauty of
how many millions of videos on YouTube?
Lots, but most of the bandwidth used is download.